Hey everybody, it's Charlie from DM Sound, and today we've got the sound system demo on the 2024 Mercedes-Benz GLB-class and its 12-speaker Burmester surround sound audio system. This is going to be an in-depth review. We're going to take a look at how the infotainment system works, take a look at audio inputs, adjustments, controls, speaker locations, and we're going to test out the 5.1 capabilities, and then we're going to head out on the road and listen to these sample tracks while we're rolling, and I'll give you my thoughts at the end. Now, if you don't care about any of that stuff at the beginning and you just want to hear the music, click ahead in the video. We've got chapters to get you right to the tunes. And if you want to hear even more on the system, sign up below to become a Daily Motor member. I record members-only sound tests there where people can request real copyrighted music, and the only way for me to make money from that is by you paying directly because I don't get any ad revenue. It all goes to the music creators. So if you want to hear more on the system and hear some real songs, check the link below. Before we get started, let's hop out and take a look at it. I have been so curious to try a Mercedes-Benz GLB. They're kind of a goofy little car, but they're actually remarkably well balanced in terms of what you're getting, the size inside, how they drive, and how they look. Alyssa's always been a big fan of them, so finally getting into the seat of one of the few cars that's eluded me over the years. So if you do want to see more on the GLB, check the link below. We've got a full review, we've got a fuel economy test, that members-only sound test. I'm also going to be doing an infotainment breakdown if you want to see more on how to pair up your phone and how to use the infotainment system and the center screen. So all that can be found below. Now we always do these tests with uncompressed wave audio files on a USB stick plugged directly into the system and high quality Roland binaural microphones in both of my ears, giving you the most realistic audio system demo on YouTube. We also do the test with the sound settings set to their factory defaults. So let's take a look at those now. Got a 12.5, actually is it 12.5? I think it's 12.5 inch infotainment screen here. Unfortunately in the GLB there's no sort of center control and the screen is very far away. I'm 5'10", average sized arms, and for me to reach up to the screen I have to reach way away from the seat back, and I don't particularly care for that. Technically you can control the screen using a little thumb pad on the steering wheel, but it takes a while to get used to that, and perhaps if I owned this vehicle for a while I would get used to it, but it's a bit tedious moving yourself around this way. But we can make our way over to the sound settings. Under media, we get, first up, sound profiles. This gives us pure surround, and then one of my favorite things that Burmester and Mercedes do, a personal sound profile. So we're going to step through this, and it's going to customize the music exactly to my ear preferences. I'm going to click that. And it's going to say you can create your personal sound profile for your Burmester audio system using this configuration assistant. Okay, set your personal comfort volume for this instrument. Comfort volume, I think, yeah, that's probably pretty good. Continue. Yeah. Set the sound which you find to be balanced. Do we want more cello? Or more viola or violin. I'm not sure which one that is. I like a little bit more cello. A volume which you find to be low. That's pretty low there. Set the sound which you find to be balanced. Yeah, need a little bit more cello. Ooh, okay. Some drums. Desired volume for the beat. I like a little extra beat volume. You can change the result further using the sound exploration or continue with the configuration. All right, now more vocal, more intensive, more bass, or more bright. You're gonna want a little more bass and intensive there. And then the surround level. Set the area which the sound should come from. Okay, see, I like just a little tiny bit of surround like that. I don't want to veer too far away from the original recording. Preferred bass characteristics: neutral, soft, warm, or punch. Actually, between all those, I kind of like neutral best. All right, and here we go. This is my personal sound profile, and we'll compare it to flat EQ. All right, so just a little subtle there. But that's the thing, is that everybody has their own ear preferences. Some people come in and say, oh, what are the best EQ settings for the system? And technically speaking, the sound engineers think that flat EQ is what sounds best, but everybody's going to have their different preferences for different styles of music and different listening environments. Maybe your mood even that day can change how you feel about your EQ tuning. So having that personal sound profile is pretty cool. But we're going to do most of the testing with Pure. Let me skip a few tracks here, get to our next track, and then we'll go through Pure and Surround once the next track picks up. But below that, you have adjustments for bass, mid-range, and treble. We'll go through those. Also, balance and fader. You can move that around the cabin or bring it back to the center. And then sound focus. Do you want the sound optimized for all seats, front seats, or rear seats? Okay. So here's Pure, and then Surround. Bass. Mid-range. And treble. And lastly, the sound focusers. Here's all seats, front, and rear. Nice that Mercedes and Burmester are giving you all that adjustability there. Oh, and another thing I like is, say you're on an entirely different screen, say you got your phone projection brought up here, and then you want to get to your EQ settings quickly, just rotate the volume knob and then press this gear icon, and you're getting right to your sound settings. I like having that there. So that's it for audio adjustments. For audio controls here in the GLB, you've got a volume knob down in the center. Fairly easy for everyone to get to. Good clickage, a little bit of a plasticky feel there. And you can press it down to mute. I like that. And you've also got a volume slider on the right side of the wheel that you can also click to mute. Like having that. For track selection, this gets a little bit more contentious. There's no physical control for track selection anywhere. You have to do it through the touch screen or be on the proper menu here in your gauge cluster, and then you can slide back and forth with the left side control on the wheel. For audio inputs here in the GLB, you have your standard AM, FM, Sirius XM satellite radio, as well as tune-in radio, some internet radio there. Oh, let's just confirm we've got HD radio support. FM. Yep, we got FM, HD radio. How about AM? Well, it's a little bit harder to confirm, but I'm also going to assume that not too many people care. Then let's head back, and you go to media. You've got USB-C port here. You've got Bluetooth support for wired and wireless Apple CarPlay and Android Auto, and an online music screen selection here. So if you pay for it, you can get some online music. You do actually have access to Tidal, Spotify, Amazon Music, and Apple Music right here under the apps screen. I missed that at first, but you might be able to install even more apps using Mercedes Me, so you have those streaming services in there, although I'm not sure which bitrate they're going to stream at. What does that mean you're missing? Well, there's no USB-A ports, so make sure you have an adapter if you're using USB-A drives. No disc player, no 3.5mm auxiliary input jack. Speaker locations. As I said, this is a 12-speaker system. It's a little bit different than some of the other Mercedes systems in that we don't have a front firewall woofer there. We've got a mid-range slash woofer 1, tweeter 2, center mid-ranger 3, 4, 5 on the other side. And coming into the back, we've got another mid-ranger woofer 6, 7 tweeter, 8, 9 on the other side. Up here in the D pillars, you've got surround speakers making 10 and 11. And then we should have a subwoofer in the trunk under the floor giving us 12. There we go. Before we get on the road, I want to test two things. I want to test the 5.1 capability, and I also want to try testing Dolby Atmos support. And I don't know if I'm going to be able to play the music for testing Dolby Atmos because it will be copyrighted, but I'm going to see if I can get a result for you either way. So first, let's do the immersiveaudioalbum.com 5.1 surround test. I'll get the Dolby Atmos queued up as well.
Welcome to the Immersive Audio Album channel configuration test. Left, center, right, Left surround.
There it is.
Right surround.
And a proper LFE channel back there
The
as well.
immersive
So
audio album channel
you've got full
configuration test.
5.1, like having that, that's for sure. Now we'll switch over to Android Auto, and I'll bring up a Dolby Atmos track here in Amazon Music and see if it plays properly. I don't think that sounds like it's supposed to. That's one of the problems with Dolby Atmos, is if you're trying to play an Atmos track on a non-Atmos capable system, it's going to sound really strange. So I'll confirm below. I don't think that's playing proper Dolby Atmos, though. All right, with all that out of the way, let's head out on the road. system has the core fundamentals down pat, and we're getting a good quality individual sound out of each speaker. The problems arise when you start talking about the depth of the sound and how much instrumentation you're getting out. I mean, ultimately, we're dealing with 5 speakers up front here, and with the mid-ranger and woofer placed so down low, you're not getting a very well-rounded sound. You're getting decent enough high ends coming through these tweeters, and then a decent low end coming through that subwoofer, although, like I pointed out at track 3, wasn't loving those bass hits there. But the fullness of the sound just isn't there compared to some of the more advanced Burmester sound systems. For this next track, we'll test the subwoofer out some more, turn the bass all the way up, see what happens. There, we are getting a little bit of mirror shakeage. I like that. A little bit of sloppiness when we really turn the volume up, though. My thoughts on the 12-speaker Burmester system here in the Mercedes-Benz GLB-class. It is a little tough for me because I see a small bit of the devaluation of the Burmester brand name with a system like this. What I'd rather see is something we used to see in luxury car brands where the unbranded system, the one that simply came from Mercedes-Benz or Lexus or BMW or whomever, was a strong system. It was one you're going to be really happy with. And then the name brand systems were saved for the really strong cars. Now what we see is we see different tiers of sound system brands. So this is a Burmester surround, but way up top you've got Burmester 3D surround, Burmester 4D surround, high-end this, reference that, premium, a pinnacle. There's so many different ways that you can still get the brand name, but then get a better brand name, if you will. All that being said, this is a fine enough system, but it certainly is not reflective of what Burmester or Mercedes-Benz is capable of. And I understand, this is a $50,000 car compared to some of their $200,000 cars. But I think it would do them both a service to save Burmester for those top-level systems. All in, I'm giving the system a B, because the way I see it is I enjoy listening to enough music, but nothing's really wowing me. Yeah, the high ends are fine, the low ends are fine, but the system is too simple to really give you that driving force satisfaction out of a lot of your music, and instead you're just like, oh yeah, this is fine. Whatever. I'm gonna listen to this music and I'm gonna be okay. So, not the most impressive I've heard from this brand or at this price point, but just enough to be considered the top level system. So thank you all so much for watching. If you do want to see more on the GLB, check the link below, and we'll see you on the next one. I'm Charlie from DM Sound, and as always, drive on.